Hi, fifth graders. We're going to keep practicing with multi-digit multiplication. This time we're just getting slightly larger. We added a third digit to the bottom, but it's going to be the same process. So I want you, don't panic. We're going to get through this. So take a second, set up your problem. And again, I use different colored pens for each number on the bottom. I decided to use green, blue, and red. So write down your problem. Pause the video if you need more time. Let's get started. So of course I'm going to start with my 6 first. Taking my red pen. I'm ignoring the rest of the digits there, and I'm going to do 524 times 6. I don't know what it is off the top of my head. So I'm going to go one digit at a time. 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 2 is 14. I'm going to do 6 times 5 is 30, plus 1 is 31. I'm sorry, I already kind of changed my mind as I was solving. You don't need to solve along with me. I'm going too fast. I just want to refresh your brain. So don't worry about solving. But here's our first part. So 524 times 6 would be 3,144. I am done with that 6. Luckily, I used a red pen. So I'm actually, I'll cross them off. There we go. And I know red was for my 6, so I'm going to ignore these numbers up top. And I'm going to switch to my blue, my 3 there, which is really a 30. It's in the tens place, so it's a 30. Let's add 0 first. So now I can just pretend it's a 3. And remember, we need to multiply that 3 now times 524. I don't know what that is off the top of my head. So one digit at a time. So I'm doing 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 2 is 6. Plus 1 is 7. 3 times 5 is 15. Look at how I wrote my numbers. I'm making sure that they're stacking nicely in columns so it's easy to add once I'm done. All right, I'm now done with the 3 and anything that was in blue. I'm going to switch to my green pen. So this is the new part. We now have a third digit. That 1 here is in the hundreds place. So it's not really a 1, it's 100. So what I'm going to do is add 2 zeros before I start multiplying. That takes care of the hundreds. I multiplied by 100 already by adding the 2 zeros. So I can just pretend it's a normal 1. So no zeros added, 1 zero added, 2 zeros added. That's because the 6 was in the ones place, so I can have answers in the ones place. The 3 was in the tens place, so my answers start in the tens place. My 1 is in the hundreds place, so my answers aren't going to start until the hundreds place. And this one's kind of nice. I know exactly what 524 times 1 is. I would have my 4. 1 times 2 is 2. And 1 times 5 is 5. There we go. Now we have to add up our pieces because it's not just 524 times 6, or 524 times 30, or 524 times 100. It's 136, so let's combine those. 4 plus 0 plus 0 is 4. 4 plus 2 plus 0 is 6. 1 plus 7 is 8. 8 plus 4 is 12. 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 plus 2 is 10. 10 plus 1 is 11. 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. So my answer for this should be 71,264. Let's see if that answer even makes sense. So just like before, let's round these numbers to something that's easy to work with. Don't worry about what you round it to so much. We're just trying to see, are we even in the realm of possible answers? So 524, let's just call that 500. 136, let's call that 100. So if I'm multiplying 500 times 100, I could think of it like 5 times 1 is 5. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. 2, 3. So is 50,000 close to 71,000? In these terms, I would say yes. Our answer is pretty close. If my answer was, let's say, 7,100, this would change, but let's say about 7,000, I would say no, it is not close enough. So if we didn't get close, I'm going to check and see, oh, yes, I remembered to add my zeros. So I know this probably is challenging for a lot of you. It can get confusing when you have so many numbers going on. So I want to offer you an alternative. If you are struggling having so many numbers on top and you're just getting confused, here is an alternative you could do. So I have my alternative, I just had it hidden. So instead of doing 136 all at once, I broke it up and said 524 times 6. And I got that answer, 3,144. Then I did 524 times 30. That was my next number, 15,720. And then my 524 times 100, which was 52,400. So it's more efficient to do it all combined, and you're just adding column or rows here. But if you need to, if you're getting too confused, try doing it this way. I broke up my 136 into 100, 30, and 6. The problem with this one, though, is you still want to find the answer to this problem. So at the end, you're going to have to take your 3 answers, say 5, 2, 4, 0, 0, 1, 5, 7, 2, 0, and 3, 1, 4, 4. That was my 3 answers here. I'm going to add them up. 4, 6, I'm doing this quick because we've already done this, 12, this would be 8, 10, 11, and 7. 71,264. I still expect you to estimate, though, to see, does your answer even make sense? There's more room, or I say just as much room, actually, to make mistakes, because you're still doing 3 different sets of multiplication problems, and then adding them together, just like we did here. 3 sets of multiplying and adding them together. So it's up to you. You can try combining them, or if you're really struggling, that's okay. Try this method where you're breaking up that bottom number. 136 became 100, 30, and 6. All right, today is all about just practice with this. So let's do one more, and I want you to try and solve. So our problem is going to be 4,519, and I kind of spacing out my numbers. That way when I'm adding numbers up top or on the bottom, gives me a little bit of room to make sure I'm writing them in line. And let's do 326. So 4,519 times 326. And if you want to try that breaking up method, you're going to do 4,519 times 6, 4,519 times 20, And 4,519 times 300. Make sure you add them up when you're all done. So I want you to pause the video, try your best to solve, and don't forget when you're multiplying by 20, you add a 0. When you're multiplying by 300, you add 2 zeros. All right, pause the video and give it your best shot.